everyone, Scrivener here. Well, since you clicked on this video, I assume you want to hear at least a little bit about Avengers Endgame. I was originally going to do just one video with a non-spoiler and then a spoiler section, but I decided to split it into two videos so that there wasn't any issue in the comments section. So now you each get your own comment sections. Yay! If you have seen the movie and you want spoilers, then I do obviously have a spoiler review, but you should still watch this one because I'll be talking more in depth about the stuff that I mentioned here in that spoiler video. For you non-spoiler babes, obviously I want to do my best to not spoil anything for you. I definitely didn't want to give away too much because I think a lot of the fun was not knowing what was going to happen, and I think that did pay off for me personally. So I've done my best with the knowledge that I have not to reveal the stuff I definitely wouldn't have wanted to know about, while still balancing the stuff that I wish that I had known. I want to start off by saying that I think it was a lot of fun, and I would absolutely not skip this one. If you are a fan of the MCU, you are about to get hardcore serviced, and you don't want to miss that. I do want to talk about the things I didn't like as much first, not to ruin anything for you or so that you'll feel discouraged from seeing it, but really to set expectations so that you aren't disappointed in the same ways that I was. Let's get started. I really don't think that this movie is a companion to Infinity War. It feels so separate. It doesn't feel like a part 2 to Infinity War's part 1. It feels more like its own movie in so many regards. In tone, in writing style, in the characters, even the structure. I know I was personally kind of let down by the fact that it kind of forgoes a lot of the things that I felt like were brought up in Infinity War to be answered in this movie. They were not answered in this movie, just so you know. Not that I'm entirely surprised given the Russo's track record with female characters, but I hope you're not expecting any women in this movie to have any kind of meaningful development. You will be sorely disappointed if you are. Captain Marvel is in a lot of the advertising, and she's really not in this movie very much. But the parts she is in are really fun. Halle B asked about the gay rep, and yeah, there was some in the smallest sense. That gay rep was a small one-off line from what I would normally describe as an extra, except he was played by one of the directors. And when I saw it in the theater, I was like, oh shit, that's the first openly gay thing anyone's ever said in a Marvel movie. That's f***ing sad. And then after that, I learned that apparently they've really been patting themselves on the back for what was nothing. So that kind of pisses me off. Something I do want to warn you about, that you may have seen on social media by now, is that there is a movie-long fat joke with Thor's character, and it's not fun. And they're pretty clear that they're equating Thor being fat with being pathetic. So just be prepared for that. And now we can get on with the neutral observations and the things that I liked. It was an incredibly sincere film, and I found that aspect really nice. The tone is also really interesting. It is somber for maybe like the first half hour, but after that it's pretty light. Then it's just jokes on jokes on jokes. I put a list together of movies that I would recommend rewatching if you're up for it, to kind of get you hyped for Endgame, that I'll go through at the end of this video, and some of those choices are a direct result of the tone specifically that Endgame strikes. If you're worried about bathroom breaks, there are places in this movie where you can easily go to the bathroom and not miss anything major. There's a scene in a diner with Bruce Banner and Scott Lang that was really heavy on secondhand embarrassment, and it went on way too long, and you could definitely slip out there. By all means, like, stay for that scene. It's interesting and important, but like their conversation starts to wind down and some kids come up to them, and that's when you can leave. The very last point at which you can go to the bathroom and not miss anything is when you get to the title card, New Jersey. The first few minutes of that is really just set dressing, and it's not that important. It also has one of the most forgettable Stan Lee cameos I've ever seen. I didn't even know that it was one until the end of the movie. It's practically nothing. Geeky Sleepy Spam asked if the movie needed to be as long as it is. You know, maybe it didn't, but the thing is that I never felt that it was 3 hours long. It was just just so entertaining. Like, it goes by so quickly because it is a lot of fun and there's just so much going on, and I don't think you're ever going to feel like it's dragging. I certainly didn't. Avi asked if it was worth it and if they're going to cry. Yes to both, Avi. I had a great time and I definitely did cry, though not as much as the hype had led me to believe that I would. I did bring some tissues, but I didn't really have to break into them much. But it was nice to know that I had them. And like I said at the beginning, if you are an MCU fan, you are the primary audience for this movie, in a way that is just not the case with any of the other MCU movies. This is a movie I can see myself getting and watching certain scenes over and over again. It is a really long movie, but there's really satisfying and fun scenes that I just cannot wait to see again. And as for the movies that I personally think you might benefit from watching, if you are looking to do so, they are as follows. Either Iron Man or Iron Man 2. I personally prefer Iron Man 2, and I do think it is a tad more relevant, but it's completely up to you. It's whichever one you like better. Captain America First Avenger, The Avengers, Captain America Winter Soldier, Thor Ragnarok, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp. And if you want some extra credit, the first episode of Agent Carter. Some of those might seem like odd choices, but I think that Ragnarok and Ant-Man and the Wasp do a really good job of sort of like reflecting this kind of goofy tone that Endgame has. And there is a great deal of Scott in this movie, so having a refresher on his relationship with the Van Dynes isn't a bad idea. He's a great aspect of that movie. I honestly don't really think there's any reason to watch Infinity War again. All that Endgame uses of Infinity War is the ending of it, which is that half of them are dead. Literally the only other thing from Infinity War that is referenced in Endgame is the Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavors joke at the beginning.
A hug of burning fudge is our favorite.
That's a thing?
And that's all I've got for you right now. Thank you for watching. If you'd like more non-spoiler content to tide you over until you can see the movie for yourself, there's a video essay I released a few days ago about Thanos that's kind of been stewing around in my mind for about a year since Infinity War came out. And that's entirely based on Infinity War and the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. We were on a podcast called Setting the Record Queer very recently. There will be a link in the description to our episode. My audio wasn't great, gonna be honest about that, but we did talk about a lot of really interesting things, so I definitely think it's worth a listen. We are also starting to think more about our Patreon and how we might offer some perks to you guys. So let us know in the comments if you'd like a perk, like say, getting your name at the end of these videos. I know that Paige has been away for a bit, but it's because she's been working on this big project and she will be posting the first video from that very soon. I'm very excited about that. So thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe so you can see our future videos. And if you're ready for those spoilers, you can go ahead and watch part 2. And if not, I hope y'all enjoy the movie when you do see it. One of us will see you real soon.